You're listening to Just Hit Play with your hosts, Peter and Nick Cabral. If you're tired of your stagnant, streamed music feed, then strap yourselves in for an intergenerational sonic journey through Peter and Nick's favorite songs.
Welcome to episode 207 of Just Hit Play. I'm your host, Peter. With me is my co-host, Nick. Nick, how you doing?
Doing great. I'm on a stretch of night shifts right now, so I suspect we've both just woken up recently for this.
Yeah, it's 6-something in the morning here, so I've been up for a little bit, getting ready for the episode. So my voice might not seem that awake, but I'm getting up there.
Yeah, it's 4:45 p.m. here, and I just woke up around 4 o'clock as well. So
What time do you start?
I work at 7, so
7,
just over 2 hours. Yeah.
So you're in Toronto, Canada. I'm in Brisbane, Australia. So I have to leave in about an hour because I'm going to go and photograph. I'm a photographer here in Australia. I'm going to photograph. They do something called Christmas in July here because obviously July is when it's colder in Australia. And I'm photographing dogs with Santa Claus. So that's what I'm doing today.
Nice. Very nice.
So last week I photographed dental surgery. This week I'm photographing dogs with Santa Claus.
All right. And I believe you saw The Odyssey, right?
I did see The Odyssey, yes.
Okay. So let's talk about it. I've already shared my thoughts, spoiler-free thoughts last week.
Yeah.
Give me your whole rundown of what you thought.
I wish I'd seen it in IMAX. I misspoke last week. I said the only IMAX theater that I know of was in Melbourne. And I was partly right. There is an IMAX theater down the Gold Coast, but it's not a true 70 millimeter IMAX theater.
Okay.
So I haven't seen it in IMAX yet. So we're thinking about going to see it in at least the Gold Coast on the biggest screen we can in my area.
Even if it's not 70 millimeter, I think it would still, you would still get some expansion of the aspect ratio.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It wouldn't be in the standard scope ratio. It would be in a slightly bigger. So yeah, that would still be worth it.
Yeah. So we're trying to plan that. I think it's going to be hard to do because obviously the movie is very successful. So when you go woke, you make a lot of money compared to what other people are saying. And okay, so my thoughts. I really love the movie. I have this problem when I first see a movie that's based on a book. In my head, I keep comparing the two.
Yeah, it's so hard not to, right?
Yeah, so it's usually the second time I see a movie like this where I can just see it for its own merits and not worry about the comparisons of it. I have one critique. I wish that they would have portrayed Odysseus more like the trickster he is. I didn't really get that.
Unless
vibe.
the weary soldier, like the weary PTSD-ridden soldier.
Yeah, like they did that okay. I just wish they would have just done the trickster. He's supposed to be like the cleverest man, and
right,
and I think they didn't particularly show that very well, I thought. But other than that, I loved it. I thought it was a brilliant movie.
So now that you've seen it and I can talk freely, can I tell you what moment in the movie elevated it from like a 4? I had it somewhere in like the 4 out of 5 star range. You know, like I thought it was great, but what really elevated it for me was in the third act when he's recapping and it's flashing back and you see the full sacking of Troy and you realize what Christopher Nolan is doing with like the guilt and how he feels responsible for the collapse of civilization. He's violated Zeus's law, the concept of Xenia, like that, tying it all together in that bow and the way that he explored that, I thought was just fascinating, like just a fascinating decision that I loved so much.
Similar to me, I think one of the things that really held true for me is that how he held that when Zendaya gets killed at the temple, and then he uses her embodiment as I guess it's Athena. He uses her embodiment as Athena throughout the movie. If he remembers that face, I thought that was brilliantly done. I was like, okay, yeah, that's amazing. I love how he can use that in your mind of what a god could be, and I really dug that part.
And I just read an interview with Chris Nolan where someone asked him, the first question they asked him was, all right, I've been having this debate with a friend. Is Athena actually real and present in the movie, or the Athena figure we see, is that just an embodiment of Odysseus's guilt for the sacking of Troy and the killing of the innocent priestess? And Chris Nolan refused to answer. He said, I learned when I made Memento not to answer questions like that because I'd rather let the audience live with what they think.
there's a great line, David Lynch, where have you ever seen many David Lynch movies?
I have seen Mulholland Drive, but I do plan on doing a big David Lynch marathon one day.
Right. So, notoriously very strange man. He was a very strange man. And he was yelling at one of his actresses. I think it was the actress in Mulholland Drive, when an interviewer asked her to explain the movie, and she did her best to explain the movie. And he yelled at her, "Is like, you don't have to explain anything. Don't explain." Because I think he's right. I think you sort of live up with your own interpretation of what you're seeing. If humans, I always like to say this, if humans understood things the way other humans did, we wouldn't have 47,000 different sects of Christianity.
Yeah.
Exactly. we interpret things very differently than other people around us.
So I have a lot to talk about on this theme, and maybe we should say, if you're not interested in the movie talk and the Greek mythology talk, let's just say skip to like the 15th minute of the podcast. Fair. You can just skip all this. But all right, I also loved that when they revealed at the end that like Odysseus' crew, and not so much just him, but all of the returning Greek sailors, that they were the sea peoples that were so famous and infamous in their role in the collapse of the late Bronze Age. I thought that was a very clever choice because, they were coming back and just stopping at all these islands. They had so many soldiers to feed, and they were just sacking and pillaging all these islands.
And
so
probably,
I really like that.
Yeah, and probably not only Odysseus, like they're like all those soldiers coming back.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. Like you had this huge army coming back, and they were taking whatever they needed to get back home, regardless of whether it was freely offered or not. Right. And so I really liked that they said, well, you guys were kind of the sea people. I thought that was really clever.
Yeah. There's also a good line when they're with the Cyclops and they're like, "Oh, he speaks. Should we try to talk to him?" And Matt Damon's character Odysseus goes, "Do you talk to ants?" I like that line too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So probably the one thing, and because I'm like you, the first watch I was comparing it to the book, which I had literally just read, like finished the night before, so it was impossible for me to not compare it. I was a little upset. My favorite scene in the book was Achilles in the underworld, talking to Odysseus, and when he says, "I would have rather grown old as like an old farmhand than to have died a hero, or like died with all this glory and reputation." That was my favorite part of the book. I wish they'd found a way to include it in the movie, but I thought Sinan's character was a good substitute, and I think got across a similar message, like made Odysseus feel this regret and everything for what he had done. But I do really love that Achilles scene.
That is a good scene. I think the Sinon scene needed to happen to, in the final act when he's killing Robert Pattinson's character. I can't remember his name.
Yes. Antinous.
Antinous, thank you. When he's, giving him a message from the underworld. I thought that was pretty well done. You're right. I think that, it's not a perfect movie for me. Maybe a 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5. But I mean, Jesus Christ, like it's pretty well made.
It's quite the feat of like just filmmaking. Like the fact that everything was shot on location, all these extras, everything, so much done practically. Like that's really a feat. Yeah, how good was Robert Pattinson?
He was so smarmy, wasn't he? Yeah,
he was so good.
And
when he's hiding behind the pillar, telling them to grab each weapon.
No, that's that's like a general behind the lines, right? And not on the front lines. That's what we are now. Like when we're ordering drone strikes, and there's no bravery, I guess, in for hand to hand like we used to, like in the ancient times. In the sack of Troy. I saw an interview with Matt Damon, and when the doors opened, he didn't know Agamemnon was going to be standing there, so he was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
So that
standing there like Batman.
That was a secret. That was a secret kept from them, and then there was like 500 extras about to run through. So they didn't know that was about to happen. So I thought that was pretty well done.
I loved Agamemnon's armor. Just Are you familiar with the concept of aura farming?
No, I've never heard of that.
It's a very Gen Z term.
Okay.
Essentially, you know what aura means?
Yeah.
So aura farming is just intentionally acting to gain aura, right?
Okay. Yeah.
The way he was standing there, just silently posed with his armor. That's aura farming because he was just trying to look cool, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
So Agamemnon was doing a lot of aura farming in this movie. That's what the people are saying.
Yeah, they never show his face, which is interesting.
Very interesting decision.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to talk about. Have you heard of the book The Song of Achilles?
No.
So it was written by Madeline Miller, 2011, 2013. She's since written the book Circe, which I'm now reading. Okay. Song of Achilles is, you've read the Iliad?
Yeah.
So the Song of Achilles is the story of Patroclus.
Okay. Yeah.
From the Iliad.
His cousin?
His best friend. They weren't lovers.
They were not. No. Greeks are not famous for having male lovers.
So the Song of Achilles is all about Patroclus's life and his friendship / relationship with Achilles. So I have not read the Iliad, but I read that book just this week, which obviously covers all of the events of the Iliad. And what a story. And it's made me want to read the Iliad, but after just reading the Odyssey, I'm not sure I've got the mental fortitude for it. I may need a break. But it's added so much interesting context to the Odyssey for me, both Odysseus's character, Agamemnon especially. It's given me a much better look at who Agamemnon is.
Yeah, Agamemnon's a very flawed character in a lot of ways. A lot of his weaknesses and his ambition, it's a pretense to go to war in the Iliad. That gets laid bare in the story. So he's a very flawed character, very power-driven character.
And then just everything he does, with Achilles and Briseis and everything, and everything driven by his ego. Yeah. Really, really super interesting. I may watch the movie Troy as a stand-in for reading the Iliad. I know, obviously, the movie took a lot of liberties, but I've never seen that either. And I don't know. I'm just on this huge Homer kick right now. I can't get enough of all of this. So I'm just going to live in it.
Troy is a good movie in the way that bad movies are enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? It's not a good movie, but it's enjoyable because of how pompous and just over the top it is. So I think that's where its strengths lie. It's as a story, it's okay. Watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? That's my second favorite Odyssey movie ever made.
Okay. I'll put that on the watch list too.
Yeah, that's a fantastic.
I do love the Coen brothers. So.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. So
nice. All right. Should we talk about some music?
One more topic. How bad was the final in the World Cup?
Oh, God. I tell you, if Argentina scammed a win in that game, I don't know if football would have recovered as a sport.
They're getting their just desserts right now with the hatred that is being levied at Argentina.
When it was deep into extra time and I think there was a penalty shout that went Argentina's way or something like that. There was a few decisions in a row that had gone Argentina's way. I was watching with a bunch of my friends, and I looked at one of them, the guy next to me, and I said, they might do this. Argentina might get this to penalties. And if they do, I think they'll win. And I was terrified at that outcome. So I'm really happy Spain won.
You know what's more damning is how weak England was, where how quickly they folded against a subpar Argentinian team. I think if England showed any bravery, they should have been in the final. I'm not saying England would have won the final, but it would have been a much better game. I think they would have fared better against Spain than Argentina did, who offered absolutely nothing. And that's what
I thought that was clear as day. Yeah, England would have, I thought, at least put up a better fight.
and Messi scored 8 or 9 goals, and it's about scoring goals. But when you don't have a forward, and Portugal had this problem, when you don't have a forward who can run and who can run behind lines, you have a problem. And against a well-organized team like Spain, who only allowed 1 goal, Messi was useless. So I think that's a good lesson to learn. If you have a 40-year-old or a 39-year-old forward, you're in trouble.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Looking for conversations made for lesbians and queer women? Welcome to LOTL Lounge, the home of bold stories, brilliant artists, and the voices shaping our community. From lived experience chats to deep dives into queer culture, every episode celebrates lesbian life in all its colour. Search LOTL Lounge wherever you get your podcasts and join the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. You can't rely, like, in games against weaker opposition where Messi can have more joy in and around the penalty box. Yeah, he looked amazing, but against teams with really disciplined defending, where he had to take up this more like deeper lying role and just put balls in.
He's useless.
Well, he was putting good balls in, and it worked against England because he put in a great ball, and Alvarez and another player got on the end of it. But yeah, that just wasn't happening against Spain.
No,
and yeah, so they didn't deserve to win.
No, so I think there's people signing a petition to kick Argentina out of the next World Cup. So because it was thuggery, and then and I didn't know a lot about this, but a lot of people are talking about the history of Argentina and the racist history of Argentina because they were a very European team. I never knew a lot about the history of Argentina, so that was very interesting to read.
Yes, very interesting. But then Ferran Torres is also apparently a big right-wing activist in Spain, so you can't win.
No, you can't win at all. No, it's the world's pretty fucked up. All right, now we're gonna get into music now. So you're going first. Tell us about your artist.
All right, this week I got you to listen to the band Day We Ran and their song "Naked at Your Door." Darren, why don't you just hit play and we'll get into the band after.
Yeah, you took your dad's collection, pulled the record off the shelf. Yeah, you said it sounds better when you're listening by yourself. My head is turning, I never knew I liked you like that.
Okay, Naked at Your Door, Day We Ran. Give me your initial impressions, first thoughts.
Yeah, it's an interesting band. I really love the song, but I have some questions for you.
Okay,
this is a
this
is a very small band. It's not a very big band. So how did you come across Day We Ran?
I have to be honest, put my hand to God, and say the algorithm fed me this one.
Okay.
That damn algorithm got me again.
Yeah.
And it did a great job. So their lead breakout single is a song called Foaming. That song, Apple Music has this feature where you can just like press an infinity sign, and once whatever you're listening to is finished, it'll just like play similar music, right?
Sure.
Spotify is a very similar thing, all streaming services do. So yeah, I was just listening to that, letting the algorithm decide what I was listening to. I'm a very pretentious guy, so I don't like to do that often, but I decided to this time, and it gave me Foaming by Day We Ran. Great song, great song. I was shocked to learn it was essentially the first song they ever put out. And yeah, so like you said, small band, they just released this EP, and I think it's great. I think the whole EP is great, and I enjoy this song a lot.
Yeah, cool. It's a weird song for me because the lyrics are quite morose and quite sad, but that doesn't match the music. The music is a little bit more upbeat and does pick up very well. And one of my complaints that I've talked about a lot is I don't like when bands don't go for it in songs. When I think there's they're going to go for it, when they don't, it sort of upsets me. And I can't say that it didn't happen in this one, because this one they go for it, and I really love how it finishes.
Yeah, this song is wide open, and you just I was the same way when I was first listening to it. I'm like, okay, I hear the build up. I really hope they land it, because it would be a shame if they didn't.
Yeah.
But they did.
Yeah, the lyrics are quite sad. It's, and as a man in his late 30s, you have these moments where you remember your youth and you romanticize your youth, and there's a little bit of that in this, talking about a former lover of his, and maybe a moment that happened to them in the summertime in their town before he's moved on to other things. So there's a little bit of a morose feel to it, but the song itself is not that. The song is a very upbeat song.
Do you have any guess as to where they're from?
I know they're American because, and I was going to highlight this line, and the auburn leaves are falling and the train has left the station. I can see in your eyes that it's different now than before. So I'm guessing they're either American or North American.
I'm pretty sure they're actually Australian.
No way. Okay.
Yeah.
Auburn leaves, obviously we don't have a fall situation. Well, some parts of Australia have an autumn sort of thing. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're Australian.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and I was going to say that when you were talking about the difference in the lyrics, the juxtaposition of the lyrics and the sound, I thought that was very Australian to me.
Do you know?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I just read the study that mental health among youth in Australia is on a very bad trajectory.
Well,
and so I think that's why I just read that, and I was like, well, there's this band. They sing about some pretty sad, nostalgic things, but with that Australian surf rock vibe to it. So, yeah, I just made that connection just now.
It's funny. I photograph a lot of kids here in Australia, and they're so miserable.
Yeah.
I remember I was at this thing at a school. This school, I think it's called Sunrise Beach or Sunshine Beach, and literally down the road from the school is this world best beach where they're surfing, and these kids were so miserable. And I was like, you can go surf at lunchtime. Why are you going? And I remember asking the kid, it's like, why are you guys so sad? Like, they were so sad and miserable. The whole world was on their shoulders. I don't particularly understand it. As I've left that part of my life. I'm a pretty happy guy. Yeah, but I can answer that question. I don't know why, but the kids are quite serious here.
So they're from Lennox Head, New South Wales.
Oh yeah, okay, that's not that far from here. That's down the road. I'll be near there in a bit.
Yeah, so that's where they're from, and yeah, they've only really been around for a couple of years, but they've done quite well with the material they've released, and they're apparently an excellent live band. So I do plan on going to see them in 4 days. They're playing in Toronto.
Oh, nice.
Have you ever been to the Garrison in Toronto?
No, I don't think I ever have. Maybe it was under another name.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's this tiny venue at Dundas and Ossington. Okay. Very small room. It's like a 300-person room, so I'm very excited to see them.
Oh, that'll be a good gig. Yeah, that'll be good. Well, I'm going to stand by what I said. In Lennox Head, New South Wales, the auburn leaves are not falling. So I think there's some poetic license given. That's in that. Okay. In that one. Yeah,
they can take some poetic license there.
Lennox Head is definitely a beach town, and unless I'm mistaken, I don't think there are any auburn leaves.
So we've featured quite a lot of Australian bands in the last few months on this podcast. I don't know if that's coincidence or maybe Australia is just really leading the indie rock revival at the moment. What do you think?
Well, I think you have to come back and see a few shows here because you were here when you were a child. So I think you should come back.
Yeah, there's all these great Australian rock bands that are putting out some quite good material. And I love how Day We Ran has these surf rock moments. Not so much on this song. Yeah. This is very much a classic 90s sounding guitar song. Yeah. But on other tracks of theirs, they have very much these indie surf rock moments with really driving riffs and all these harmonies and whatnot. So yeah, I think they've got quite an interesting repertoire. I chose this song just because, like I said, I think it sounds the most familiar, but with a modern element to it.
Yeah, I like. While the song's building up, I think, and again, I could be wrong, but it sounds to me like the bass is just playing one note every little bit, and it really I really love that effect where it's just this really spar one note bass line, and it really just builds in the song. Obviously when the song builds, the bass kicks in, but I love that the fact that they chose just to do that one note every once in a while. So that was really good.
Yeah, I like that too, because you could have had the bass, you could have had them doing something crazy in the background, but it may have detracted from what the lead guitars were doing as well.
Yeah. I'm only going to give it one little quip where I thought they could have done something better, was the ending. I thought it was a little jarring.
I thought they could have, yeah, I agree. I thought this song could have actually been longer.
I'd love to see bands where like this just play and just fade out.
Yeah.
I know it's out of fashion, and that's something that, was happening when I was a kid. But I think that this would be a perfect song for it just to fade out.
Especially because it's the last song on the EP. Like, this is their first debut EP they've ever made. You're right. I think it would be cool if on the last song they kind of did that. That'd be a really cool one.
Yeah. Well, next episode, you'll have to give us a review.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see them. I think this would be a great band to see in a small room. So I am excited. Yeah.
Cool. So thank you. That was a really good song. I had no idea they were Australian. I for sure thought they were American with the lyrics that were on there. So it's that's a nice little surprise.
And now you can listen to a small indie band before they blow up, because I think they might eventually.
Yeah. Well, I'm not that far from Lennox Head, and maybe I'll go check out the band when they're playing as well.
There you go.
Okay. So I got you to listen to the Traveling Wilburys, Five Brothers, from parts unknown of America. So I got you to listen to a song called Handle with Care. So Darren, just hit play.
Being beat up and battered around, being sent up and I've been shut down. You're the best thing that I've ever found. Handle me with care. Reputation's changeable.
All right, so before we get into the song, so the Five Brothers are, so there's Otis Wilbury, Lefty Wilbury, Charlie T. Jr. or Muddy Wilbury, there's Lucky Wilbury, and Nelson Spike Wilbury. So what did you think of the Traveling Wilburys?
Yeah, I really like this song. This feels like so warm to me and very comforting. It's like a good comfort food song. Does that make sense? Like it kind of fills up my ears. It feels really just so warm. That's the word that keeps popping in my head right now.
Yeah.
And it feels nostalgic. I'm not sure if I've heard this before. It feels like I might have. Or maybe
song.
That's just the vibe of the song. I don't know, but I'd love to listen to the song like road tripping through the Midwest United States, like on a sunny day. You know what I mean? Like that's the vibe I'm getting. And yeah, it's quite good.
So it was released in October 1988. It was their debut single. Now, did any of it sound familiar? Did any of the voices sound familiar?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I feel like you're about to tell me that you're about to tell me something cool.
I'm about to tell you something interesting. So the Traveling Wilburys are Jeff Lynne, Roy Orbison, Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, and George Harrison.
No way.
The last five artists that I got you to listen to was all leading to this moment, Nick.
Wow. You just did an Avengers Endgame.
I did.
You just did a team up episode.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I can't wait to re-listen to the song knowing that.
Which is why I didn't get you to watch the video.
Oh, it's all making sense now.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. That's so cool.
Yeah. So Jeff Lynne is Otis Wilbury. Roy Orbison is Lefty. Tom Petty is Charlie T. Jr. or Muddy Wilbury. Bob Dylan is Lucky. And George Harrison is Nelson Spike Wilbury.
These guys, this is literally the Avengers. Like,
yeah.
What do you mean? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a super group.
It's a super group.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So here's how they came together. George Harrison was recording an album, and Jeff Lynne was producing the album. And they were coming up with this idea, but they wanted to record it the next day. So they were having dinner and they wanted to record it the next day. And they couldn't find any studio time. So they called up their friend Bob Dylan, asked if they could book the studio, if they could work in a studio. And Bob goes, yeah, come over tomorrow. So Bob put on a barbecue, and Roy Orbison and Tom Petty just happened to be around. So they invited them to come over, and George invited them all on the song. And they couldn't come up with the title. And then he said to Bob Dylan, George Harrison said to Bob Dylan, goes, you're the lyricist, you're the world famous lyricist. Why don't you come up with some lyrics? And Bob goes, what's this song called? And George had no idea. So he looked over into the garage, and there was a box there that said Handle with Care. And that's how he came up with the title.
Wow. That's so cool. I had no idea. Because if you look on the Traveling Wilburys like Apple Music profile, it's so unassuming.
Yeah.
Like I thought, honestly, this was just some. To be fair, I never looked at the picture.
Sure.
Now I'm on my phone right now to see, like, did I miss a clue? And yeah, like at the top of their Apple Music, there's a picture with all 5 of them.
Yeah.
But I think the only one I would have recognized is maybe, like, I would have recognized Bob Dylan if I looked closely. But I never did. I thought this was just some random, like, band from the 80s. Like, yeah.
Well, I guess they are kind of, yeah.
They are, but individually, they're some of the biggest musicians of the century at the time.
Yeah. Well, because this was just going to be a B-side on a single that George Harrison was writing. When he presented it to the record company, the record company's like, hang on.
Yeah, wait a second.
This is not a B-side. And that's when the Traveling Wilburys are born, and they decided to record an album. So this was volume 1. And then they released volume 3 in 1990. So there was 2 albums officially attributed to the Traveling Wilburys. The sad thing is on this record that this was Roy Orbison's last contribution. He died. So this album was released in October, and he died in December. So this would have been it for Roy Orbison. Yeah.
I'm actually a little surprised that this came out in 1988. If you asked me, and again, without me knowing who the Traveling Wilburys were, if you just played me the song blind, I would have said that's 1970s for sure, like early 70s.
Well, they all are.
1988 is kind of crazy. 1988,
yeah, but you're right though. Their heyday was the 70s, like all 5 of them. Yeah, well, except for Roy. Roy would have been, this 50s, 60s. Yeah,
and this knowledge just reaffirms that hot take I debuted a few episodes ago that George Harrison, I think, was the most important member of the Beatles or whatever. This just is entrenching that right now in my head, because I've yet to hear this guy miss. I don't think he's ever missed. Yeah.
It's I love the Traveling Wilburys. I think they're an amazing band. And it was funny. Because I've been wanting to play the Traveling Wilburys for a long time, but I was never sure how to do it. And I kind of alluded to it a little bit where I said, that I could talk about each individual for a long time. I give a very, very small snippet into each member of the band. I didn't go into great detail about their later career, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is all making more sense to you now.
It is. Wow. Well done.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. Traveling Wilburys, super group from the 1980s. Released 2 albums. I'll send you the link to the video now.
Yeah, perfect.
And you can watch the video, and the voices and it will all make sense to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. On one hand, I'm a little disappointed that I didn't pick up on any of it, but on the other hand, that was a nice reveal. Yeah. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't.
Yeah. So when I said they're an American band of parts unknown, English American, I guess.
English American. Yeah.
Because George and Jeff are obviously from England, and the other 3 guys are American. Yeah.
Well, I guess like they've created these personas, right? For the band. So are their personas supposed to be American? Like, I guess that's
they are. It's an American quality. All the songs. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they're an American band.
Yeah. Well, and sadly, the only 2 members left are Dylan and Jeff Lynne. So Harrison died, Orbison's died, and Petty has died. So that's it.
Yeah. Damn. Jeff Lynne would be the youngest of them all, right?
I'm guessing he is the youngest. It would be either him or Tom Petty. Yeah. Because they're more 70s, and George Harrison obviously 60s, Bob Dylan 60s, and Roy Orbison would have been like 50s, 60s.
Yeah, I know Bob Dylan's like in his mid 80s by now, so
he would be. Yeah. He's been around for a long time.
Very long time. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm glad. I wasn't sure if I was going to sneak this one past you, so I'm surprised. Not surprised, but I'm happy that I snuck this one past you.
You did. You're lucky that I was not very observant when I went on their Apple Music to listen to this song.
Yeah.
I just press play. I'm like, okay, we got some 5 random white dudes. Let's hear it. You know?
They are 5 random white dudes. Yeah.
Not so much random though, but yeah, 5 white dudes.
Yeah. So I'll send you the link to the video. Why don't you watch the video? And
because
I send you a link. I did send you a YouTube link, but it took me a long time to find a YouTube link where it was just the lyrics and not the band.
Yeah.
So I finally found that for you. Yeah. So yeah, I'll send you the actual official music video.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So two other things. This helped revitalize Bob Dylan's career in the 90s because he had a bit of a resurgence in the 90s. And this album won Best Rock Performance by a Duo Group in 1990.
Cool.
So yeah,
cool.
It's, you know what the really interesting thing about this band as well is that there were a period of about 15 years where you couldn't buy this record because of all the record companies fighting for, especially after, Roy Orbison died and George Harrison died. They were fighting for, credits and rights and, who got the money. So
of course, yes.
It finally got reissued. I think it was 2007, 2008, where it was finally reissued. So it was unavailable for many, many years.
That doesn't surprise me. Record company, record label greed. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. So yeah, it was all about rights, and it was re-released in 2007. So that's how long it took for it to get re-released.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, you know what else I was worried about?
Eventually.
Yeah, I was really worried about people in your life that might listen to this podcast would go, "Oh yeah, he's leading up to the Traveling Wilburys." I was really worried that sounds like they didn't spoil it for you, so that's good.
Yeah. If anyone, it would have been my father who would have done that. And either he picked up on it and decided to stay quiet, or he didn't pick up on it. I don't know. But thank goodness he didn't ruin it.
Yeah. Cool. So what song do you have for me for next week?
Next week, we are going to listen to a new song by The Strokes. I don't know if you know, they just put out an album. Came out a couple days ago. Yeah, so they've got a brand new album out. We are going to listen to the song Dine and Dash from Reality Awaits by The Strokes. If you've got the time, maybe listen to the album. It's around 43 minutes.
Okay.
I would be very curious actually to hear your thoughts on the whole album, but regardless, we will be talking about Dine and Dash.
Nice. Well, this is quite funny because I'm getting you to listen to a new Arcade Fire song.
Hey, look at that.
So both bands that we've seen live together. I'm obsessed with this song. This is off their last album called Pink Elephant.
Okay.
Which was not reviewed well. But I'm absolutely obsessed with the song. And I don't really know why I'm obsessed with the song. But we're going to listen to Ride or Die by Arcade Fire.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I've heard nothing at all from this album. So yeah, let's give it a go.
Yeah, it's an interesting album because is not received positive reviews, but I don't know why I love the song so much, but I really love the song. It's very quintessential Arcade Fire, I think.
Cool.
All right, let's do This Day in Music History. So on July 26, 2006, the final edition of Top of the Pops was recorded at BBC Television Centre in London. Just under 200 members of the public were allowed as the audience for the show. So Top of the Pops have featured performances by the Spice Girls, Wham, Madonna, Beyonce, Robbie Williams, and the like. And the Rolling Stones were the first band to appear on Top of the Pops. They did it on New Year's Day in 1964. So we're going to listen to that episode. We're going to listen to that performance. They played a song called Not Fade Away. So this is the Rolling Stones, Top of the Pops, 1964. Darren, just hit play. Do you know much about Top of the Pops?
Sounds familiar. Like I've heard of this, and I know like it's like an event, like a TV show, but not much more.
No, it's made a lot of careers. Like when I talk about Spice Girls and Wham, they were relative unknowns until they played Top of the Pops, and then they just shot to stardom after their appearance on Top of the Pops. So it had that ability to make bands. So they're a very famous TV show that lasted for a long time. So so what, 2006, and the Rolling Stones were on in 1964. So it was a show that was on a long time.
Yeah, really long time. No kidding.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything equivalent to that now. I'm trying to think what could be equivalent to it. Like for a mass audience, but you have to remember too, there wasn't as many different media sources. Like there wasn't as many streaming channels back then. So it was BBC Radio, BBC, Top of the Pops. Like it was very focus driven, where the tastemakers were had the ability to change the world in just putting a band on. I don't think that's the case anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that's really like a thing anymore. I don't think that it's still around, Top of the Pops, right?
No. It ended in 2006. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything that could really replicate it.
No, I can't think of a single thing right now. Maybe opening up for Taylor Swift.
Sure. Yeah, I think that would have the same effect. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing. That would be it. I think that's your closest thing.
That's the only like surefire way to get a career. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your plans for the rest of the week? Or next week?
Well, so I'm seeing Tame Impala, another Australian guy. I'm seeing him on Sunday. I've never seen Tame Impala live before, but I've been a huge fan for a while, so I'm really excited for that one. Should be a phenomenal concert. And then, going to see Day We Ran. Tame Impala is playing at Scotiabank Arena, and Day We Ran is playing at a 300 capacity bar. I'm doing both ends of the spectrum here.
Well, it's nice and hot there. You guys are going through Australian summer right now. It's nice and warm. So, you guys are going. How's the air quality? I know there's a lot of wildfires around you.
Yeah, it was really bad for a few days there, but it's mostly cleared up, I would say.
I saw Trump on TV when he talked about how he's putting tariffs on Canada because of the air condition.
And, yes.
The idiot goes, I don't know what's happening. The last 5 or 6 years, there seems to be all these wildfires. I can't explain it. And I was like, can't you though?
Yeah, I mean,
it's so fucking obvious. Yeah. There are wildfires in Scotland, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
I'm in my late 30s. I've never heard of there ever being a wildfire in Scotland.
Yeah, not have I.
Oh, Christ. Do you want to hear something really sad?
Sure.
This is not sad for me. This is sad for you.
Okay.
I think I'm about your age now when you were born.
Wow.
So I think I was 20. I think I was 27 when you were born. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm turning 26 in just over a month.
So I don't know if that's depressing to you, but there you go.
Wow. That makes me feel old. Not gonna lie. That makes me feel old.
Yeah. I thought that might be it might be interesting for you in a sad way.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. Yeah. Wow.
Cool. Let's talk about our independent artists this week, and we're going to play Kat Thompson, and it's someone we featured before, and we're going to specifically feature a song we had on episode 181 called Dance Fire. And the reason we're playing this song is because Kat just got engaged, and I'm really pleased for her and happy about her upcoming wedding. So as a congratulations, we're going to play Dance Fire by Kat Thompson. Nick, we're going to talk to you next week.
You got it.
Let's go. Why you standing on the wall, baby? Come and dance with me. It's time to get physical. Let's see you move your feet. Take your body into overdrive as you're moving close to me. You keep saying that you got the swag. Well, it's time to bring the heat. And if you want it, you got it. But you gotta bring the heat to the floor. Now give me some more. You say you want it, you got it. Take my hand and baby, let us explore. closer, don't be shy. We ain't got time to waste. Keep saying you want me bad. Well, now's the time and place. And if you want it, you got it. But you gotta bring the heat to the floor. Now give me some more. You say you want it, you got it. Take my hand and baby, let us explore. I like it, I'm yours. Can you give me that dance? Can you give me that fire? Can you give me that dance? Can you give me that? I'm just fire. Can you give me that dance? Can you give me that fire? Can you give me that dance? Can you give me that fire? Slide for me. You like that? Hit the floor. To the side. Break it down now. Yeah, yeah. You tell me, now get close. Now wide. That's right now. Hey, hey. Now what? Dance. Get below me. Can you give me that? Dance. Can you give me that? Now give me that. Dance. Can you give me that? Can you give me that? Dance. Can you give me that? Give it to me. Can you give me that? You like it, give me that. Dance. Can you give me that? Can you give me that, baby? Dance. Can you give me that? Give it to me,
You've been listening to Just Hit Play. To contact your hosts, Peter and Nick, or to be featured on an episode as musical talent, email justhitplay7300@gmail.com. Keep up to date with news and announcements by following on Instagram and Facebook, linked in the show notes. Subscribe on your favourite podcatcher to tune in next week for more sonic delights. And if you can't wait till then, check out the Just Hit playlist on Spotify, linked in the show notes. A special thanks to Braden Munch for the theme song, and thank you for listening.